her composure, looking for Kerr, and steered home, following up by Katrina Gorry. Just reward for a super performance.
Katrina, tell us about the exciting news.
Yeah, a couple of months ago I found out that I was pregnant, which is really exciting for me. It's something that I knew that I always wanted to do. I always wanted to be a mother since a pretty young age. So yeah, really exciting to start this chapter of my life.
When and how did you find out you were expecting?
I took a pregnancy test. I was actually in quarantine at the time. So yeah, it was hard because I took it too early and it came back negative, which I was pretty sad about, but then knew I had taken it way too early. Then I took one the next day and I left it, I think, and I came back in and I saw that there was like a tiny faint line, and I called my sister straight away and I was like, oh my gosh, like what does this mean? Does it mean like I've left it for a little bit? And she was like, yeah, you have left it, so maybe just like check in a few more days. So then I took another one in a few more days and the line just got stronger, and I sat on my bed and I just cried and I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. So yeah, really exciting.
How is that to have a really exciting piece of news, but it's happening while you're by yourself in quarantine?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Obviously, FaceTime now is pretty incredible. So I called all my siblings. At the time, my parents didn't know anything about it. They didn't know that I was having IVF or anything like that. So I was leaving that for when I got out to surprise them. So yeah, I called all my siblings and they were super supportive, which I knew they would be. So it was tough being alone, but yeah, I felt really supported anyway.
Tell us about your path to becoming an expectant mum. When did you start the process of IVF? And
yeah, I kind of always had a plan that 2021 was going to be the year that I wanted to start trying. Obviously, with the Olympics being pushed back, it threw a spanner in the works a little bit. We, as athletes, obviously base our life on 4-year cycles. So, yeah, that was kind of hard, and I made the decision I knew that IVF wasn't 100%, so I knew that it could take a few treatments, and that if I fell pregnant the first go, then that was what was meant to be. And unfortunately, yeah, I wouldn't be able to be in contention for the Olympics. But yeah, I decided that I would try and see what happens. And yeah, I was a lucky one to fall pregnant the first go.
can you describe the feelings and emotions of that moment? You've created this plan, you know that it's not always going to go to plan, but that moment when it does.
Yeah, I can't really explain it. I still have to pinch myself to kind of realise that I am pregnant and it is happening. I think seeing the pregnancy test and kind of going through the IVF process, I always knew that there was a potential that I wouldn't fall pregnant first go. But yeah, seeing that pregnancy test, I really can't explain it. We talk about moments in football and how special they are, but I don't think anything will really compare to that moment of seeing the two solid lines and knowing that it was a positive.
Why did you want to become a mum?
I have such a big family. I've kind of always been around kids. I've always been around people, and I love having such a big family. I've got a little niece, 2 nephews, and another one on the way. So for me, I really wanted to be a young mum, but I also wanted to have my kids be close to their cousins as well, and to watch them grow up and have them each other for support. So that was really important for me as well.
You mentioned as athletes, you don't always get the control of your lives. It can sometimes be planned for you, and those plans can change. So can you talk to us about the process of wanting to be a mum and working in with your profession as athlete?
Yeah, I guess for me, I always thought, okay, well, I'm going to have to finish football early if I want to start a family. And then I kind of reevaluated that a few years ago and thought, wait, I can have a child or children and come back to football and it still be there. And so that's kind of where my planning set in. I wanted to set myself a challenge and become pregnant and get back to football. So that's the plan at the moment, is to have the baby and get back to football, and I feel really supported in that plan, and hopefully it happens.
I'll go back to it in just one moment, but What was that catalyst for that reevaluation? I know you played in the US with Amy Rodriguez, who's a world champion mum with 2 kids, but it's also become much more natural in the women's sporting field.
Yeah. I mean, the US have quite a few players that have gone through the process and have come back, better than they were before. So I think that did change it. But also, if you look at the best teams in the world, a lot of their players are, mid to late 30s. So finishing football at such a young age just to have a family, I think kind of made me want to reevaluate that. I didn't want to finish football at such a young age so I could have a family. I wanted to have a family and then continue with my football family. So I think that's, something that athletes are realising now, and I think it's really important that we don't have to finish up. We can continue to play and be supported by our football family or the family of code that we're in. So,
football sport can be all-consuming. You guys, you miss out on moments with your family that happen in the pursuit of this game. How important is it now that you get the flexibility to not have to make a choice between one or the other?
Yeah, I think it's hugely important. We obviously find it really hard being away from our family on so many different occasions. But yeah, having that flexibility is really important, I think. Knowing that we can be with our family but still be full-time professional athletes is something that we all strive to be. And I think a lot of us know that we want to be mothers and have a family. And I think knowing that we can do both and be fully supported, I think is something pretty special.
Talk to us about the support. What was the reaction from your Brisbane Roar family, from your Westfield Matildas family?
Yeah, I think a few of them were shocked but really supportive. I think, Meeks having Harley kind of paved the way for a few of us, and, seeing how cute they are and that special family, I think made us really realise how special something like that can be. And the Brisbane Roar family they've been really supportive. All the girls kind of got around me and made sure I had everything I possibly could. And if I was carrying a heavy bag, were asked to carry it like I was not physically able. So, they were super cute, and I felt really supported by all the Matildas players and the coaching staff as well.
I remember a couple of years ago, it was this joke that when Serena Williams announced her pregnancy, that her little girl would be a Grand Slam winner in the womb. What's that been like for you, being able to continue to play football, knowing you've got this secret that you're ready to tell?
Yeah, I mean, some days were harder than others, but it was pretty exciting for me and to know that the girls had my back on the field no matter what. And I think scoring that goal against Canberra kind of was the icing on the cake for me. That's why kind of everyone ran and celebrated with me, because they knew how special kind of that moment was for me. So, yeah, there's definitely moments like that I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
Can you tell us how you are physically and how that's been, and what kind of changes you've had that have surprised you one day to the next?
Yeah, the changes have been huge. I don't think I realised how quickly your body can change. Kind of from the 6th week, cravings were weird. I was a vegan and all I craved was meat. So I now eat meat. And also, I think being an athlete and having these cravings have been really hard to adapt to. You crave, salty, carby food, hot chips, jats, bread is pretty much what I lived off. I tried to make myself salads and I would look at them and want to be sick. So it is a really strange feeling. And physically, how quickly your body can change. You get so tired all the time. Like, I would go to training and then I'd go home and nap for about 4 hours. So having that, those feelings and then knowing that you're growing a human, I think is something pretty cool, and how quickly your body can adapt to that, I think is pretty cool as well.
You've got a fur baby. How has Rio reacted to everything that's happening? Does he know something's changing?
I think he does. He usually would jump all over me when I walk in the door. And kind of since I got home, his tail starts wagging, gets really excited, and he runs and gets a toy. So it's really strange that how he's adapted, and Yeah, he doesn't really jump on me. He'll sleep kind of on my stomach. So just little things like that are pretty cute. And yeah, he's obviously been in a lot of parties with us and things like that. So it'll be really cute to see him with a little baby around. And I've seen him with my nieces and nephews, and he's just really cute. So I'm excited.
You mentioned that you told your siblings first before you told your parents. How did they react to the news?
Oh, so I went to my mum's house first. So my mum and her partner David. David was downstairs working out, so I decided to tell mum first. I gave her a little box, and it had kind of my IVF papers, my pregnancy test, and a little jumpsuit that said "Mum is Mini" on it. And so I gave it to her, and she opened it up, and she grabbed out the jumpsuit, and she was like, "Oh, is this for me? Mum is Mini." Like, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then she picked up the pregnancy test, kind of just put it to the side, and then she was like, and all my siblings were around. She was like, "What, guys? Like, what?" She was like, pregnant? She's like, "Who?" And I was like, "Me, I just gave you the box." And I was like, "Look, there's a pregnancy test." She's like, "Oh, I thought it was a thermometer." And I was like, oh my goodness. Because she was like, "Back in my day, we didn't have them. I just knew that I was pregnant." I was like, okay. And then so she was really excited. She was like, "Oh, I don't even know what to say." So she gave me a big cuddle and was super cute. And then kind of pulled me aside a bit later and was like, "I'm really proud of you and I support you and I'm here if you need anything and I think you're going to be a great mum." So that was really cute for me to hear. I was always really scared of what she was going to think. But yeah, she's been really supportive and really excited for me. My stepdad kind of just said, "Oh my gosh, you did it. Congratulations, good girl." And then I went over to my dad and my stepmom Michelle's house, and I think my dad thought he picked up the jumpsuit and he thought I was creating a cafe somehow. I don't even know where they've come up with these things. Like, yeah, and then Michelle kind of clued on, was like, "No, I think she's pregnant." And they just started jumping around and were super supportive and excited too. So it all went much better than I expected. I wasn't too sure how they would take it, but yeah, really excited for me and been super supportive throughout the whole pregnancy at the moment.
How important has that support network been so far, and for the future particularly, as you don't live that far away from your mum?
No, I think that's the best thing. I think I'm going to have mum on my doorstep most days, hopefully cooking me food. But yeah, I think I don't think I'd ever be able to do this if I didn't have the support of my family. They're just incredible. Since the day I've been home, I've spent most minutes with them, and even when now the girls have been travelling to away games and just having my weekend to spend that time with my family that I've missed for so long has been really incredible for me and really energising as well. So I'm excited to see another little human around the family, and I think it's going to be pretty amazing.
And also it's going to be, as you mentioned, a little bit of a family affair because your sister-in-law is also currently pregnant.
Yes.
How have you guys been able to, talk to each other through this?
Yeah, and my sister just had another little one 4 months ago. So there's a lot of us that have kind of been going through pregnancy and kind of anything. When anything happens, I message them straight away and I was like, "Is this normal? Why am I craving these foods?" I've had some bad headaches and things, which I was a bit concerned about, and they're like, "No, it's fine. Like, it's just all part of it." So it's been really helpful having them there to be able to kind of pave the way and let me know that it's all going to be okay, and just to remind me to take some rest, because as a footballer you want to keep on going and exercising the way you were when you weren't pregnant, and you can do that, but you've got to rest as well. And yeah, so my sister reminds me all the time, you're growing human, so take your rest when you need it.
And talk to us about that in terms of what's your fitness regime now? How are you continuing to keep in touch with football as you progress?
Yeah, the staff at Brisbane Roar and the players have been awesome. I still go to every session and try and guide and impact the girls as much as I can. It gives me a purpose during my days to still be a part of the team, and I run and fetch the balls and just enjoy being at the sessions, which is nice for me. I've been doing some gym and making sure that I keep strong, and I've just started back running as well. So we'll see how that progresses over the next few weeks and when I continue to get bigger. But yeah, for the moment, I'm going to try and keep on running, and my mum's got a nice gym set up, so I'll go do some sessions with her too.
What are your plans for the rest of the pregnancy as you go along?
Yeah, I mean, I do want to stay fit. I know that getting back to football will require me to stay fit, and I know that I have the support of the Brisbane team and also the Matildas to do that. I have access to all the strength and conditioning coaches, the dietitian and everything like that, which I think will be hugely important for my return to football. But yeah, I think other than that, just enjoying time with my family, getting ready for the baby, and yeah, making sure Rio's ready too.
What are the plans for the baby's room, and also any names at the moment?
No, all my names keep getting stolen. I have so many friends that are pregnant at the moment, so I'm not getting set on any names because they just keep coming up. So still searching for names if anyone wants to give me a hand.
Might be a Matildas competition.
Yeah,
soon,
seriously, that'd be nice. Need some help. And as for a room, I have a 2-bedroom apartment, and I'd like to keep my spare room for anyone that needs to come and stay, maybe to help me out. And I have a little kind of spare room that I'm going to set the baby up in. But yeah, I'm planning on getting most of my niece's hand-me-downs because she's got really cute clothes. So I'm not going to try and shop too much. I'm not going to try and go overboard. But yeah, I'm excited to start buying baby things. And I mean, I've lived in mini clothes all my life, so now I get to get mini clothes, which is exciting.
What are your plans post-pregnancy? You've also mentioned staying fit to be able to get back to fitness as much as possible. What are those plans and the network and support around to be able to allow you to give you the best possibility to fulfill them?
Yeah, as I said, the national team are helping out with that a lot, making sure I have access to everyone I need. Tony's been in contact quite often, and I feel fully supported by him as well, which I think is really important. They've been amazing from the get-go, and I think just staying in touch with all the girls and making sure that I'm still being a part of it as much as I can will be really important for me. I know the Brisbane Roar will start back kind of after I have the baby, so hopefully I'll get to be around the team and do small sessions as much as I can, and try and progress as much as I can.
What have you enjoyed about pregnancy so far?
I think how quickly your body changes, even though the cravings are a bit strange. And as an athlete, seeing your body change so quickly is definitely hard, but I've been reminded just to enjoy it because I've always been fascinated by pregnancy. I think it's something incredibly cool that the human body can, build a baby and then feed a baby and keep it alive. I think it's incredibly cool, and I'm just really excited to experience it all and just going to enjoy every moment.